Fly ball left field. Nate McLouth is there. And the magical season of the Baltimore Orioles continues.
Ball and 2 strikes on Gomes. Ground ball to first. There's Pierce. And the Orioles are champions of the AL East.
And everybody knows he's ready to fire on the first one. Bases loaded. Young swings, line drive. That is down and to the wall. Cruz is in. Pierce is in. Party around third. He's going to try to score. And safe. The Orioles have the lead.
With the first selection of the 2019 MLB Draft, the Baltimore Orioles select Adley Rutschman, a catcher from Oregon State University.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are in episode 22 of the Talking Birdie podcast. I'm Ryan. I'm here with my usual co-hosts and good buddies, Josh and Brad. Josh, start with you today, bud. How's it going?
Doing good, Ryan. I had work called off today because of the snowstorm here. Hoping that tomorrow gets called off as well. It snowed all day. Let's keep it going into tomorrow.
How bad is it there?
By like noon, I think we had like probably 4 inches on the ground. I haven't gone out there recently, but every like 2 hours they'd come through with the snowplow and it'd be covered by the time they went out again. So yeah, hoping that it gets canceled tomorrow. There's like a layer of ice under all the snow too. So this winter storm's it's lasting like 3 days.
Yeah, that ice will fuck a lot of things up.
Oh yeah. Brad, how you doing?
I'm hanging in there, man. Just withering my way through a slow off season. Slow at work, slow without baseball. Just been getting back into the batting cage, getting back into the swing of things, getting ready for softball season to start up. Heading down to Myrtle Beach in a few weeks to play a little ball. So looking forward to that. But other than that, man, yeah, just glad to be back on here another Thursday night with you guys.
Is it going to be warmed up by then? I've heard that as south as Florida, they're dealing with temps in the 30s right now.
I'm sure it'll be pretty chilly, but probably warmer than it is here. So whatever, good enough for me.
Cool.
Ryan,
yeah, Midwest baseball's awful.
That's right, man.
I'm used to that shit.
Ryan, how you doing, bro?
Really good, man. Still loving the new job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think we're finishing up our downtown Baltimore job, and I'll probably be moving on to something else soon. So, RIP to having sick parking for opening day. But we'll see. We'll see where I end up. Most of the jobs we do are in Baltimore, so maybe I'll just end up back there and just at a different building.
Plus, you won't be able to spy on the progress that's being made at Camden Yards also.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm going to miss the most. Yep. Just the fact that being where I was got us early breaking scoop on the wall construction.
A freaking man, brother.
So, but yeah, life is good. I just bought a bunch of tools, so hopefully I can write those off. Hopefully I can write those off of my taxes next year or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be able to. I think that's how that works.
At least you could. You could. The last time I checked, they changed the tax code not long ago. So this is an economics podcast now, by the way, in case anybody was wondering.
We don't give legal advice here,
but we will tell you how to file your taxes. No, I'm just kidding. Talking taxes.
Shit.
That was dumb. All right, let's get into it. First things first, we're having another giveaway on Twitter. It's another follow and retweet type of deal. So just make sure you're following the show Twitter account and give the giveaway tweet a retweet. Josh, did you pin that when you?
I did not. I can do that after the show.
All right, we will make sure that is pinned. So very easy. All you have to do is go to our show account at Podcast Birdie. And it should be right there. We're giving away is that a 2021 card, Josh?
2021 Hudson Haskin Topps Heritage Miners on-card autograph. So
there you go. So one lucky winner, will receive that. We'll be picking the winner on the 5th. Is that correct?
Yeah, I just picked the day.
Cool. So yeah, get your retweets in, get your follows in, guys, and try to win a pretty sick Hudson Haskin card.
Underrated
Oh, yeah.
Orioles prospect.
Yep, it's easy to get overlooked in this system, but
Especially as an outfielder.
yeah, that's true. There's
Bit of
so
a crowded
many,
outfield.
so many. And speaking of outfielders, we have another kind of exciting announcement next week. We're going to go back to weekly just for this week and next week, but we're going to be having an episode out where we interview O's outfield prospect Toby Welk. We arranged that today, and we're really excited to talk to him. And hey, if you got any questions you want us to ask Toby, drop us a line on Twitter or something, and we'll try to get that in there for you.
Infield prospect.
Toby Welk's an infielder.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Oh man, I fucked that one up. Sorry, Toby. Yeah, infield prospect. My bad.
No.
Yeah,
All good.
big stupid. Okay. So, anything else you guys like to add before we really get into it here?
Oh, man, let's get into
I
it.
think we're all
Dive
good.
on in.
Josh, why don't you take it away, bud?
Alrighty, last week the MLBPA met with the MLB. They sent over some sort of proposal. I think we covered it last week a little bit, but basically not much has happened since then. I think they met for 30 minutes the other day. But what came out of that was the season is, there's kind of a tone around baseball that the season is likely to be pushed back now, which is, we shouldn't be here. We've been in this lockout for 2 months and we've had very little ground made up. The MLB just requested a federal mediator to help with the proceedings. That happened about a couple hours ago. I looked up what those actually do. Like specifically, their mission is to preserve and promote labor management, peace, and cooperation. So they basically need a parent in there to make sure they get along well enough to understand each other's sides. Quite pathetic. Players,
disgusting. Actually,
yeah, it really is. I saw that passing tweet. I just couldn't believe that that they need like an adult in there.
I mean, I guess it can be construed as something good as an effort to get it done, but
I guess.
Jesus Christ, man, it shouldn't take this. This is insane.
I feel like that's never happened. Like with the MLB specifically. I don't know about other sports, but needing a mediator.
Yeah, it's absurd. It's just absurd.
Well,
I don't know how else to say it, honestly.
it is, but on the bright side, at least they recognize that they're kind of up against it and they need to get something done. So,
Well, yeah, because the reality is finally
it's like-
setting in that they're
it's like they're going to couples counseling, basically.
Yeah.
They're trying to avoid divorce. So,
Yep. It's because I think the reality is setting in that everyone's set to start losing a lot of money.
Yep.
And
Pretty much.
that's all that's really gonna, keep these guys working towards the goal is the money. So I don't know. It's a shame. Again, it's like you said, it's a real shame that it's come to this. But I don't know. Let's just hope it gets worked out soon because I need baseball, man.
Yeah.
The Ravens suck this year. Ravens discourse online sucks even worse than their performance on the field. And I just need baseball, man. Orioles, Twitter, and just interacting with other O's fans is usually just such a fun experience. And I don't know. I really enjoy the spring and summer nights of getting home and watching the games and interacting with people because, there's always a game on. So it's always something to look forward to when you come home.
Yeah, the other day I found myself watching a 2018 game between Oregon State and Minnesota in the College World Series, like super regional or something. Taryn Vavra playing for Minnesota. Obviously Adley on Oregon State, and Caden Grenier was also playing for them along with a couple other major leaguers, Nick Madrigal and
What
Trevor
college?
Larnach.
What college did Adley play for there?
Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Oh, okay. Now
I
he
say
says it
Oregon
right.
State.
Now he says it right.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you're going for there.
From the Midwest, man. What do you want from me?
Yeah,
Overpronounce
that's okay.
all the
Oregon
letters.
isn't as egregious as Norfolk.
That's how
Norfolk.
it's spelled. Norfolk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, watch that game. It was kind of nice just to see baseball. College baseball is fun, but it's just so hard to watch because, like, the amount of turnover on rosters, the amount of player performance like increases and decreases, and it's hard to find games even just to watch. Like the cable companies don't have agreements really.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, you can find some of the bigger games on ESPN, but unless you want to watch one of the, I guess, the powerhouse schools, you're not going to have much luck.
Yeah.
I am actually interested college baseball this year. There's one player in particular I'm interested in watching because the star running back for KU is also an outfielder on the baseball team this year, and he's a freshman, and he's like one of the top-rated outfielders in the state. So I'm kind of interested to see how he goes, see if he can turn into one of those guys that could get drafted in two sports. So fingers crossed.
That'd be super cool.
It's funny you say that. I saw some sort of thing trending about Patrick Queen today, and I'm not a football guy like at all, but it said may switch to MLB or something else, and I was like, is he a two-way guy? Is he gonna be
middle linebacker?
Yeah, I was like, wait, middle linebacker, got it. But that was something that happened today.
Patrick Queen needs to get better at football before he even thinks about playing another sport.
Right. I was wondering where you were going with that Patrick Queen angle right there. I was like, what?
Yeah, I had no idea where he was going either.
He's coming to the MLB.
Although, Patrick, if you're listening to this, please unblock me. I didn't mean to talk shit about you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we know you're listening, Patrick. So
obvious. A couple more points on the lockout situation. There was a quote from, I think, a CBS Sports article. Players want to reduce service time to 2 years, while owners have indicated any such change is a non-starter. And this next point are symptoms of why we need the federal mediator so bad, because these sides are so far apart. The other point is the Players Association dropped by $5 million for its proposal for a pre-arbitration bonus pool from $105 million to $100 million. The owners had proposed $10 million. And basically that pool is all the ARB players that are overperforming. So like the Juan Sotos of the world, the Tatises before his contract, like probably Mountcastle might fit into that kind of role. I don't know, but that's the amount of money that can be delegated as extra pay for those players. And they're so far apart, it's not even funny.
Yeah, that sounds like a theme on pretty much everything. So
I got to say, I pretty much side with the players on almost every topic, but 2-year service time is definitely not something that I can get with.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't know how NHL and really even NBA contracts work, but I don't think there's any other sport where you get to hit free. If I'm understanding correctly, they want to hit free agency after 2 years. Is that what they're trying to get at?
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. In the NHL, your entry level contract is 3 years, but you have, I can't remember exactly how many it is, but depending on how you can sign like 2 or 3, like 1 year or 2 year bridge deals and retain like restricted free agent status.
Right.
Which, despite the fact that you're a free agent, your team still has exclusive negotiating rights with you, so you're not really a free agent.
Yeah.
So I want to say it's assuming that the player plays their 3 years of their ELC, then signs however many bridge deals. I think it ends up being 5 or 6 years before an NHL player would hit unrestricted status. NFL, it's 4 years, and then if you're a 4th round pick, you have the 5th year option that could be picked up by your club.
NBA kind of has something similar. Like they have rookie contracts, which is like kind of like the NHL system. I think they get to go free a little bit earlier than the NHL allows, but there's still like restrictions and things like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's too.
I mean, I don't see. Obviously, it doesn't sound like that's going to happen. So
no.
And honestly, I'm guessing the players know it's not going to happen too, but they're hoping that by saying 2 years, they can get it down to like 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's like when you go to buy something on Craigslist and you're fine with paying $150, but you come in at like 120 just to see if he goes for it.
Yeah.
When you negotiate and end up at 150, he still feels like he got a deal, and you know that you were already ready to pay 150. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I don't know why we're talking about reducing the years of service time before we figure out how to fix the service time rules. Like being able to leave a player down in the minors for 2 weeks just to get an extra year feels like the first order of business. Because if you are leaving guys to only 2 years of service time before they hit free agency, what's going to stop teams from keeping them in the minors till they're 27 years old?
Yeah, if anything, if this is the only thing that's going on, that's going to encourage teams to keep guys in the minors longer, really. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know that. We obviously don't know all the full details of everything that's going on in their conversations. They could be talking about that too, but yeah, like we're saying, the 2-year thing is going to negate pretty much anything, any incentives that they come up with to pull guys up. I mean, you know who would really hate it is the Rays.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they would.
I mean, that would just skew it more in favor of the large market teams.
Yeah, it would.
That would ruin baseball, to be honest.
It really would. Like, what's going to stop anybody from running to the Dodgers or Yankees for just a slightly larger contract than any other team could put up?
Yeah.
Nothing.
So after a player's rookie year, teams would be selling on them.
Yeah.
So fuck no.
You'll never have a cumulative Hall of Famer again because no one will play in the majors till they're 25 or 26.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absurd. Doesn't sound like it'll happen though, so I don't think we have anything to worry about on that front. But
I think you're right. It's totally Craigslist negotiation tactics.
yeah, it has to be. They know they're not stupid. They know they wouldn't go for that. But that's how we got in this situation is fucking Craigslist negotiations.
Let's just save the trouble. 4 years for service time and $50 million for the arbitration pool, and that's like 2 issues out of the way. Just meet in the middle. Everything.
I'm sure it's not that simple, but
No.
yeah, it is easy for us three to sit here on our podcast and say that. But it kind of feels like we're going backwards here. It does not feel like progress is being made at all. Other than I did hear that pretty much everyone's unanimously cool with universal DH.
Yeah.
So it's just a bargaining chip now to get more out of the players, though, and that's what's stupid.
I couldn't care less because pitchers hitting is an abomination.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
So,
I mean, I don't care that much, but I will say it adds more strategy as a National League manager with double switches and everything, but it's not going to ruin the game for me or anything.
You sound like my friend Chris.
No,
He loves pitchers hitting.
I mean, I could take it or leave it.
He says universal DH will ruin baseball.
No, I don't.
God.
I'm not saying that whatsoever.
There's nothing good for baseball about taking a starter with a shutout in the 6th inning out of the game because he's coming up to bat.
Yeah. Guess what team he likes?
The Nationals.
Got it.
Nailed it.
You know, it's funny. I've loved to point out to him is that the DH is the reason that the Nationals won the World Series. It's Howie Kendrick was DHing in Game 7.
Oh man,
so true.
He doesn't like being reminded of that, but it's fun. I love to mess with him with that. He's not listening to this because he's a Nats fan, but Chris, if you are listening, fuck pitchers hitting, DH for life.
All right,
there you have it.
I don't think they're meeting. They don't have a meeting scheduled in the near future. I think there was like some meetings with some of the non-big players in this, talking about like non-core economics, whatever that entails. But basically, nothing major is going to be happening in the next week, besides a federal mediator having to come from Washington D.C.
It's just so funny to think about. I love the parent analogy, where it just feels like 2 kids that can't play nicely. So now mom has to sit down and put them in the corner and make them face each other. It's just very funny to think about.
I want to see Rob Manfred yelling at the mediator, like, tell Tony over there that they keep arbitration the same and keep the arbitration pool to $5 million. You tell him I said that. Tony's in the same room.
Yeah, they're sitting like across the table from each other. So someone ought to make a cartoon of that. That would be pretty funny.
And Tony's like, tell Rob over there that I don't want our minor league players to make $400 a week because they should be making like $1,000 every month or something or whatever. Stupid.
Tell Rob that minor leaguers shouldn't be sleeping on the floor of a studio apartment with 7 other guys.
You tell him no more hot dogs. Give him better food.
Jesus Christ. We need this to end. We need content. This
is awful, man.
Yep. This is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, we got a mediator in place. The mediator is going to walk in, suited up in a nice little $5,000 suit, and they're gonna get things down to business, and we'll get it all hashed out.
I hope you're right, bud. I really do.
I'm going to quote Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, I got 5 letters for you. 5 little letters. RELAX. It's gonna be all right.
I don't know why you're quoting Aaron Rodgers on this podcast, but I'm going to keep that in mind for later. Man, yeah. I wish we had more to report on the front of the lockout, but we don't.
Absolutely not.
But in the event that we do, you'll hear it here first, or on Twitter.
Yeah, probably hear it. Yeah, you'll probably hear it on Twitter first, and then we'll hear it on Twitter also, and then we'll talk about what we heard because we have absolutely zero inside knowledge on these things.
Yep.
So
I hope Toby Wilk's able to talk about some of this stuff, like without it being an issue for him. I just want to hear like a player's perspective.
I would love to as well, but I'm sure he wants to stay out of trouble, so I'm sure he'll be selective on what he says.
Well,
I know he's not technically involved because he's a minor league player, but still.
It's true.
Yeah. Especially with him not being on the 40-man roster, he might not have a damn clue what's going on. So
actually, it doesn't affect him. He's on the 40-man. He'll still play.
He might not want to say anything that jeopardizes playing time.
Are they automatically starting the minor league season on time? Regardless?
Minor leagues are unaffected outside of players that are on the 40-man roster.
Yep. I will be down in Akron watching my first game of ball.
Which is still, I think, the reason why Adley wasn't added to the 40. And other important players like that, because I think they want them to. They knew the lockout was coming. They probably knew that it wasn't going to be resolved anytime soon. We were probably going to miss some time. So at the very least, the guys that we need to play the most will still play.
Also, with Adley, this being his 3rd year in the organization, he wasn't open to the Rule 5 draft. Like he wasn't touchable, so they wanted to use that spot on someone else.
Yeah. That's yeah.
Both are possible. All right, we can move on to Cedric there.
Yeah, this was a crazy one.
Out of nowhere, really.
Really out of nowhere. And this is just, again, why we need to remember that these guys are people. As we all know, Cedric Mullins captured our hearts last year, posting the first 30-30 season. And how long? He was the first Oriole to do it, right?
Ever,
I remember that correctly? Yeah. Yep. Okay. So first Oriole to have a 30-30 season. And he did it while battling Crohn's disease. I don't know a whole lot about Crohn's. I just know it's a pretty bad digestive disease. He got an infection. He lost 20 pounds. He had a late surgery in 2020 that removed a good chunk of his intestine. And I don't think Crohn's is something that goes away. I think it's one of those things that, I mean, if anybody knows, you can give us a little more detail. But I believe it's just one of those diseases that you have to live with and you have to try to manage as best you can. So the thing that first came into my mind when I heard this was I think that is probably a pretty good explanation for why a handful of times throughout the year we had these head-scratching, times where Seti was
days.
off. Yeah, Seti given off days just didn't make any sense. Particularly I think I remember Brandon Hyde catching a lot of heat for giving him an off day while he was in the middle of one of his torrid hitting streaks. And I would say this is probably why.
I think they said that's why he missed a lot of games in September. He missed I think he had a couple back-to-back off days, and once he hit 30 homers, they're like, okay, Seti, we can relax on this a little bit. And he got the time off.
Yeah,
and he deserved it.
I just hope he's able to get sufficient treatment so he can handle it as best he can moving forward. Obviously,
yeah, I'm sure the team doctors are, giving him the best care that they possibly can.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw the video, but I think he said that he either found out that he had Crohn's or suspected he had it when Trey found out he had cancer.
Oh God, that's got to be terrifying.
Yeah.
What horrible timing.
That was right at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
So
in fact, everyone when Trey Mancini started missing practices just assumed it was COVID because that was the only thing that popped in anyone's head at the time.
Right.
So.
Man, yeah, that's crazy. I hope, like you guys said, I hope Sid keeps getting the treatments that he needs and he's able to manage his illness to the best of his ability, because that's just awful, man. Especially knowing that it's not something that you can like get rid of, that you just kind of have to accept that you have it. I think that's just terrible, man.
I'm just cringing thinking about getting an intestine removed. Like, ugh,
Yeah,
just sounds like a miserable fucking experience.
yeah, it's a pretty serious surgery.
Ugh.
It's very serious. My dad had to have something similar. He had diverticulitis. I don't know if you guys know what that is. If you don't, it's a condition where your intestines develop pockets on the side of them, and they're not a problem unless food, like, stuff passing through gets stuck in there, and then it gets infected, and it becomes a serious problem. So, yeah, it's nothing to mess about with at
I
all.
just looked it up. Crohn's disease cannot be cured. Medications such as steroids and immunosuppressants are used to slow progression of the disease, but also patients can require surgery, but no, it doesn't really go away.
Damn shame.
Yeah.
Who's making a guest appearance? Is Terry making a guest appearance?
Yes, she is.
Come on down and say hi, Terry.
Are you still there? Brad wants you to come say hi.
Just tell Terry I said hi then.
She's coming. Okay, then just say hi from over there.
Hi, Terry. Thank you for making a weekly guest appearance.
He said
It's good
thanks
to
for
see
making
you.
a guest appearance. This is going on YouTube, by the way.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Should have said that. At the beginning. All right. Let's move on here.
Back to business.
Yeah. Josh, why don't you take us back to this this next headline that you got here?
Alrighty, so this is a typical Thursday night or a Wednesday night yesterday. I was just on the couch thinking of stuff for today's episode. I looked up Baltimore Orioles news on Google, and this came up about the Maryland Stadium Authority pitching a $1.2 billion plan to keep the Orioles and Ravens in their Baltimore stadiums for a few more years. It's a long article. There's some like more complicated legal stuff in there, but basically the Orioles have been extended with their contract for like 2 more years, I think, through 2023. And then there's like money being set aside for sports betting areas and other entertainment additions to Camden Yards and MTO. So I don't know, just an interesting tidbit I saw yesterday.
I've never been concerned about any of this stuff. I mean, it seems like it doesn't really seem like there's any tension between the city and the teams and everything. It seems like just a formality for them to keep these deals
It's
going.
more so on who potentially buys the team if the Angelos decide to sell it. It's not necessarily the city's issue, but any owner could potentially come in, buy the team, and just ship it off somewhere else. Pretty short notice.
It's true.
I don't know, man. I have it on good authority that they're moving to Vegas from all the idiots on social media. So,
See, I always hear Nashville.
I've heard both. I just had to
Yeah.
pick one.
Yeah. Nashville's always the one that I
Yeah.
hear. Could be worse, guys. We could have our owner dying to move us to a city in Canada that already failed to sustain a Major League Baseball team. So it could be worse.
Could be
Yeah.
better though.
For half a season.
Yep.
Every year.
Yep.
I think that's our new weekly segment. We just bring that up to shit on
Montreal Rays watch.
Yeah. No news on that, I don't think.
No, well, yeah.
Well, we do have news. It's not happening.
Yeah. Well, we said that last
We
time.
talked about that last week.
Yeah, man.
We got anything else? I mean,
Not really.
We're continuing our
Pretty
slow news cycle.
Pretty short episode here. Yeah.
Yeah, we're real excited next week to have Toby on so we can get some player insight to pretty much anything and everything. The minor league experience, potential, whatever the hell he knows about labor negotiations, if he does or he doesn't. Any good stories we can get out of him. Should be a good time.
I'm definitely excited to hear about some stories. Some wild shit goes on a minor league baseball bus.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
You think?
I think a lot of it.
I think that's it.
Not it, but I think a majority, it's just like a high school bus. Some people sleep on the 45-minute drives. Those guys drive for like 6 hours sometimes.
I know. You know what? That should be in the labor negotiations too. Planes for minor league teams. God damn it.
We got to have somewhere for them to fly into when they get their luggage off the plane, though, Ryan. Right now, it's nowhere.
That's true. That's true. And they can still take buses. Like they can fly into a major airport that's nearby, and then
That's
they can
true.
take buses to, these smaller podunk little towns that they play in.
I'm saying they don't have like houses or places to stay, really.
On the road, they do.
It's true.
Hotels.
That they pay for.
I don't think they pay for them on the road.
No.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. You're saying they used to?
I don't know, but didn't they agree to something at the end of the year where they'd have to provide housing or something?
I think that
That's for when they're at home.
That's
Yeah.
only at home? Okay.
Yes. When they're on the road, they stay at a team hotel.
Yeah, they already did on the road. And they get a per diem, too.
Yes.
It's crazy we have to talk about that as new news.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, tune back in next week to hear us talk to Toby. We're all really excited to get him in here and ask him a bunch of questions. Like we said, hit us up on the show account if there's anything you want us to ask him. But any last parting words from you boys?
Oh, man, I think I'm good. Just like I said, excited for next week.
Me too.
We hit 300 followers. Thank you guys very much for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the reason we're doing the giveaway, by the way. So yes, thanks everyone for helping us grow this thing as quickly as we have. We started this thing up in, I want to say, what was that, mid-August that we got this thing rolling, Brad?
A little earlier than that, maybe late July, early August, something like that. So yeah, keep helping us grow. We'll keep doing giveaways. So
Yep.
Yeah,
yes, we
we'll
will.
get better stuff as we.
The more the follower account goes up, the better the quality of the giveaways we'll get.
And we can also incentivize it based off 5-star ratings, subscriptions, so on and so forth. But we'll keep you guys posted on that. Definitely more opportunities to get some cool prizes.
Speaking of that, I'm gonna go check and see if we have any new reviews.
Okay. In about 3 years, we're going to be giving away like Cal Ripken debut jersey.
Yeah.
The quality keeps going up.
How did we acquire this? Don't worry about it.
in 3 years, we're going to be giving away Cal Ripken's old house.
We have here the 1983 World Series trophy. One lucky fan can have that in their office.
Yep. We'll get there.
So no new reviews. July 8th. Okay, so we started way sooner than I thought. We started in early July, but still.
Yeah.
The point stands. Half a season.
Yep, half a season, and a lot of bad baseball.
Yep.
Ain't that right?
So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Sorry this episode's kind of short and lacking. We just wanted to get something out there since it was the second week of our bi-weekly schedule. Should be a lot better next week when we get Toby in here. So, as always, you can follow the podcast account at PodcastBirdie on Twitter. You can follow me at RyanSet094. Josh is at @EstateOs, and Brad is at KU_Brad1Del. Thanks for everybody for tuning in. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.
We'll be going on YouTube for this one, so you can subscribe at just Talking Birdie. It'll be on the Twitter account, so just go from there and find that. But thank you guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Adios.